The top 10 deadliest diseases in the world will be discussed in this video. The fast-acting, incurable illnesses that occasionally make headlines come to mind when people think of the deadliest diseases in the world. However, many of these illnesses are not included in the list of the top 10 global killers. Coronary artery disease, often known as ischemic heart disease because it causes the blood arteries that supply the heart with blood to narrow, is the first fatal disease in the world. Mortality rates have decreased in several European nations and the United States, despite the fact that it is still the largest cause of death. This might be as a result of public health education, healthcare accessibility, and other preventative measures. However, in many developing nations, mortality rates from coronary artery disease are on the rise. Stroke is the second most lethal condition in the world. When a brain artery becomes blocked or leaky, a stroke happens. Within minutes, the brain cells start to die because of the lack of oxygen. In fact, strokes are considered also the leading cause of long-term disabilities. People who receive treatment within 3 hours of having a stroke are less likely to have disabilities. Lower respiratory infections are the third most lethal disease in the globe. An infection in your lungs and airways is referred to as a lower respiratory infection. It could be brought on by the flu, pneumonia, or bronchitis. Getting the flu vaccination each year is one of the strongest preventative measures you can take against lower respiratory illnesses. Pneumonia vaccines are also available for those who are most at risk. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease is the fourth most lethal illness in the world. Breathing becomes difficult because of the long-term, progressive lung condition, known as chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or COPD. Emphysema and chronic bronchitis are two examples of COPD. Although there is no known treatment for COPD, the drugs can slow down the disease's progression. Lung, bronchus, and trachea malignancies are the fifth most lethal disease in the world. Tobacco use, exposure to secondhand smoke, and environmental pollutants are the leading causes of respiratory malignancies. Diabetes mellitus is the sixth most deadly disease in the world. Uncontrolled diabetes over time can harm blood vessels and neurons. Complications including slowed wound healing, diabetic foot with amputation risk, kidney failure, and blindness can result from this. Because they have less access to the medications and technologies needed to control their blood sugar levels, people in low and middle income nations are more likely to die from diabetes-related complications. While diabetes is not always prevented, the severity of symptoms can be reduced by engaging in regular exercise and eating a balanced, nutritious diet. Alzheimer's disease and associated dementia-related conditions are the seventh deadliest diseases in the world. Alzheimer's disease is a chronic condition that progressively impairs memory, decision-making, and other cognitive processes. These encompass reasoning, thinking, and other commonplace actions. Alzheimer's disease cannot currently be prevented, and researchers are unsure of why some people get it and others do not. Dehydration brought on by diarrheal illnesses is the eighth most lethal disease worldwide. When you pass 3 or more loose stools in a day, you have diarrhea. Your body loses too much salt and water. If diarrhea persists for longer than a few days, dehydration results from this, and in extreme circumstances, it can be fatal. The most common causes of diarrhea are intestinal viruses or bacteria that are spread through tainted water or food. It is especially prevalent in places with poor hygienic conditions. The second most common cause of death in children under the age of 5 is diarrheal illness. Tuberculosis is the ninth most lethal illness in the world. Mycobacterium tuberculosis is a bacterium that causes the lung disease known as tuberculosis. Even though some strains are resistant to standard therapy, it is a curable airborne bacterium. The bacteria Calmette-Guerin vaccine, which is frequently administered to infants and kids in regions where tuberculosis is prevalent, provides the best defense against the disease. Cirrhosis is the 10th most lethal illness in the world. The liver has been damaged and scarred over a lengthy period of time, leading to cirrhosis. Hepatitis, alcoholic liver disease, or non-alcoholic fatty liver disease are a few possible causes. Healthy blood enters your body after your liver has removed any hazardous elements from your blood. The liver needs to work harder to operate properly as more scar tissue grows, and it may finally stop working. In the end, if you liked this video, Do not forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Goodbye.